Hi, friends. We're so glad you're here. The Big Ideas podcast exists to empower the next generation of entrepreneurs. Join us for unscripted conversations while you're at home with your kids or even just driving them around to activities. We hope these short but powerful messages will give you inspiration and encouragement for your next big ideas. Hey guys, welcome back to the show. We are so excited for today's episode. I am personally super pumped about the interview we're doing today. It's with the McDaniel family. So we've got Blake McDaniel and then with her two older children, Hayden and Bailey. They are just amazing friends of ours here in the local area. They are business owners. Blake homeschools her children. Just an incredible heart for all the good things. And so you guys are definitely going to love this interview. I'm personally just excited to kind of pick their brains. We've not really pre-scripted any of the interviews. So it's kind of like one of those, I'm kind of hearing this as you guys are too. And I'm just excited about some of the questions that we've got lined up for y'all. So Blake, why don't you, all three of y'all, just kind of introduce yourselves and tell us a little bit about your family and about your business, your family business.
So, hi, I'm Blake. I am the owner of Rooted and Grounded, which is a Christian wall decor company. And then my daughter Bailey, she is 12, just turned 12. And then Hayden is 13.
Yeah.
So he'll be 14 soon. I get confused. So we started Rooted and Grounded mainly because we were moving and we needed to start a new business, moving from Florida to Georgia. But making wall decor was like a hobby of mine. And I did see that it lacked putting scripture in your home. Like I really wanted the word in my home. I love to decorate. And so I wanted to decorate with the word, but in a way that would still be beautiful, but also edify me.
Mhm.
Um,
I love
so we
that.
moved to Georgia, and my husband and I started Rooted and Grounded in our garage, and it just sort of blew up. So I design everything. We've had some help with like hand letterings and everything, but I always have my hand in what the designs look like. And he's just over like managing the warehouse and making everything. But
Yeah.
but as far as the kids go, like we just really want them to see us walking, trusting the Lord with our business and just it being an adventure. Sure, there's like times where you're like, what do we do next? But it really is just like this push and pull of like trusting the Lord and hearing from Him and just stepping out on a limb. And that's exciting. It can be scary, but there's just an awesome like excitement and risk taking that's involved with owning your own business. And I think they've both seen that. So,
Mm.
um,
Yeah.
yeah, just seeing the risk factor, but the fulfillment and how that leads to just enjoying. We've been able to enjoy our family. It's flexible, but we also have responsibilities, and they've seen that too.
Yeah.
So,
Well, I love the fact that y'all started your business in your garage. I can obviously totally relate to that with our golf cart business. I love that, when businesses are grown out of a need and it's just sort of a natural, well, I'm going to do this. I'm going to see if it makes sense for other people to like buy
yeah,
into it. And oh my gosh, people think this is a good idea too. Like that's amazing. And
yeah,
especially with a business like yours, where it's literally creating things that glorify God and give us a great excuse to decorate our homes with purpose.
yeah.
I love that. I love the story behind that and the purpose behind what y'all are doing. And you were, rolling right into how your kids are involved with it. So, Hayden and Bailey, if you guys want to share, like, what are your roles with the business, like on a day to day, a week to week, like, what are some things that you like to do to contribute to your business, your family's business?
Yeah, so I go in the mornings and help out with, prepping. I box some of the signs and really just like, a lot of the pre-work stuff so that the signs can get shipped out.
Yeah.
Recently, I started going up to the shop And I've been helping basically with editing listings.
Oh, nice. That's awesome. Where do you list all the inventory?
So it's mainly, so we have a couple Etsy shops, and then we also have our website, Rooted and Grounded.
Okay,
Yeah.
that's awesome. Yeah, that's amazing. So, Blake, I'm going to ask you one of the questions that I get asked a lot as a mom, not necessarily even a homeschool mom, but obviously that's an added piece to it. But as a business owner, fully involved business owner, and mom, are there I'm not asking you how you balance it because I don't believe in balance.
Oh,
We circle back to that all the time, but are there maybe some tips or ways that you've learned how to structure your day? Because I know like you work on like a certain day
mhm.
of the week or a couple of days of the week and probably here and there throughout the week. But how do you, structure your day, structure your time, prioritize that time to make sure that you are, prioritizing what needs to be prioritized?
Yeah. Um, Definitely implementing dedicated days has been helpful. So I do have a 4-year-old, and so having a day away from home where I'm able to go and get a lot done is very helpful. But at the same time, like you said, there is no balance. So, I always love to start out my day like in prayer. I just feel like that sets me up for a good day. And then just being available for the kids when they need me. And then when you find a free moment, I pull up, sit down with my computer and get a few things done. So it's definitely just back and forth of
Hmm.
being available with them, having our dedicated days, where their homeschool group is all for them. And then, yeah, then just home, it's, having my to-do list and just praying for the grace to get it all done that
Yeah.
day.
Yep. Yep. Like, Lord, if it's going to happen, it's up to you. Like, this is not
Yeah.
making sense for me right now. Yeah. How do you, I know you, like Hayden and Bailey have just talked about like ways that they're like partnered and working in the business and contributing it to it too. Do you feel like that's kind of part of their homeschooling? Like, would you say that you've incorporated like working with the business as part of their like
Yes, for
weekly work?
sure. Yes, for sure. So Hayden and Bailey, they did go to a traditional school for a while. And then, and it was good for a season. We were able to establish like our work pattern, my husband and I. And then it just sort of hit us that, we want to take control of their learning and how,
Mhm.
they see life, and just not doing the average 9 to 3 school. And we wanted them to just see what it was like to work, give them responsibilities, like just teach them more of the everyday stuff and prepare them for the future, whether or not they go into business. I mean, I think both of them lean that way now, just seeing us, it just is coming natural.
Mhm.
But it's just good to give them responsibility
Mhm.
and for them to know, like, take ownership and see the ins and outs of things.
Yeah. Yeah, I love that. So that leads right into, Hayden and Bailey, if you guys could take a minute and just maybe describe like what are some things you've learned, watching your parents grow the business, start the business, grow the business. I don't know what age y'all were when they started Rooted and Grounded. It sounds like you're probably old enough to see what was going on.
Yeah.
But, hard lessons learned, um, life rules, like what are some of the, like the grit, the investment, the sacrifice, what are some of the things that you guys have learned from watching your parents, grow their business?
Yeah. So I've definitely just from watching my dad and stuff, it's really shown me how you like manage a business and all the different, aspects of it.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, just the idea overall of being able to like create your own idea or product and just like how much freedom comes with that.
Yeah.
I think I've learned mostly how they trust the Lord with their business, because and how they take risks.
Yeah. I mean, have you watched them make like big decisions that could potentially be just scary and like, I don't know
Mhm.
how this is going to turn out, you know?
Mhm. Yeah.
Does it grow your faith to watch like God answer those prayers?
Yeah,
Yeah.
for sure.
Are there any like specific examples, not trying to get like a personal, like too personal or whatever, but any particular situations where you've seen like, oh, we didn't know how this is going to turn out, and we all prayed as a family. We were kind of unified on what we were praying for, and it's victorious now? Or
Definitely when we first moved here, it was a big risk to start their business. Now they started in the garage and just trusting the Lord that everything would work out.
mm-hmm.
Yeah, I would just say in general, like situations, like one, when they started doing tapestries, you know, getting rid of the shirts, just different big decisions they made, and how they went about it was really cool to watch.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I remember when you got rid of your shirts, I was so sad. But I understood it as a business owner. It definitely was a good business decision. But yeah, I love all your products.
Thank you.
Yeah, everybody definitely, side note, needs to check out Rooted and Grounded Home. Like you said, on Etsy, on rootedandgroundedhome.com. Your Instagram page goes right to it as well too. So yeah, quick shout out to follow and support local family business doing all the right things. I love that. I mean, obviously, as a mom with kids watching us grow businesses, you always wonder, like, are they getting it? Like, are they getting the good stuff? Like, are we just scaring them with all the things we're sacrificing? Like, are the hard parts overshadowing like the really good, like rich, rewarding just wins? And like, I love, Bailey, that you got like the faith builder in it. Like, that's just everything, like, oh my goodness.
Yeah, just not even for business, with everything in life.
Yeah, like if you can have faith to do that scary thing, then like the next scary thing's not so big, and then you keep that track record of like, well, we saw God show up with that, so pretty sure he can do it again for this. And then before you know it, you've got this, just like I said, track record of just God showing up, God showing up, God showing up. And it just blows your mind of like, why did I ever doubt, like he can do things so much better than I can imagine, So
yeah, for sure.
That's inspiring to see that you're getting that. I love hearing that. Like it's like getting to me in my heart. Hey friend, I wanted to take a quick pause to ask if you've taken the quiz yet to find out what type of dreamer are you. It's super important to discover what's working for you, but also some things that may be keeping you from really pursuing your greatest purpose. It takes just 2 minutes to find out if you're the skimboarder, the sunbather, the sandcastle builder, or the surfer babe. So jump over to dreamerquiz.com and be sure to share your results and tag me in it. Now back to the show. So let's go to the fun stuff. Like, what are some of the rewards that you guys love doing as a family? Like I love the whole work hard, play hard. We live by that. Our kids live by, hey, we're going to work hard. Like, we're going to play hard. Like, what are some of the things that you guys love doing as rewards?
Like we love to go hiking. We love taking trips. Like we've gone out to Colorado quite a bit as a family. We love to hike out there and do like ATV riding. We recently did an Airbnb in Blue Ridge, so I think they saw a lot through that. They worked hard. We all worked hard for that, but then there's been the big reward of being able to enjoy it, and they love that.
Yeah, going up there has been fun.
Yeah.
That's a pretty big thing.
Just lots of good quality family time, and just turn off your phones, turn off your whatever computers, don't show up to do the physical work, and just, and that's an amazing feeling too, of having a business that can keep running when you take time off or step away from it, and it's still thriving, it's still moving. I mean, that's amazing. Yeah, with our dream boards and everything, we're always like, put it up on the dream board, guys, because we're working hard and we're gonna get to take that off. So let's all decide what we want to work really hard for and focus. And I love that. All right. Well, y'all have both participated in Kids Business Day. Obviously, it's coming up again this September. We're going to be talking a lot about that in future podcasts. But if you two can share like what businesses you've done, and even if you've got businesses outside of, I know Hayden does. So if you guys want to share about like what some of the businesses that you've started are, whether they're still current or just past experiences or current businesses, future business, anything you want to share in terms of like business ideas that you have had, and, yeah, share about that.
Yeah, so I would say the closest thing is probably the YouTube channel that I started.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, that's been a ton of fun, and just like learning how to manage something with like different videos, learning certain skills. It's definitely good because it prepares me for like when I do actually have a business.
Mm-hmm. What's your YouTube channel, Hayden? Should definitely mention that.
Yeah. So it's about Zelda, Legend of Zelda, and it's like lore videos
Mm-hmm.
with different theories and stuff. And I also do like reviews on games. But yeah, it's been a
That's
ton
it.
of fun.
Yeah.
Geek of Time.
Geek of Time. Yeah. So definitely check out Geek of Time on YouTube. You will love it. Your kids will love it. Um, my kids love it. My kids are big fans. Um, all right. And anything else you want to add on that, Hayden? I'm gonna pass it over to Bailey.
Yeah, I did for the kids' business day, what was it? It was the caramels.
There was a caramel.
That was definitely fun to be
Mm-hmm.
able to like sell your own thing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah.
And you did the hot chocolate jars.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
true.
Yeah. I bought a lot of those and gave those as a lot of gifts. People love them and they thought I made them. And I was like, I'd love to take credit for these, but I did not make these. A really, really talented kid
They were
entrepreneur
cute.
did them. Yeah. Yeah. That's awesome. All right, Bailey, what about you?
So I really like plants and I like antique shopping. So for the kids' business day, me and my mom we went out shopping for antique vessels and we bought plants and put them in the vessels and sold them. I just thought it was really fun to sell something that I liked. So
Yeah.
that was cool.
Yeah. I'm glad you sold those too. I'm also a big fan of your creations. I love that you call them vessels. That's really cool. I love that. Oh man, y'all are awesome. All right. So I have a final question for y'all, and then if there's anything else you want to add, by all means, but maybe each of you take your turn to kind of answer. What would you say, what are if you had to say there's one thing, maybe two things that to be a successful entrepreneur, you've got to have this. Like you've got to have this. What would you say those traits or that habit maybe would be?
Uh, so I would definitely say, to make it like easier than the normal way of doing it is just incorporating the Lord with everything, just giving you ideas to manage certain situations, even just your business idea. It makes it so much easier than going about the regular way, trying to get advice on what you should do, not knowing if it's gonna completely work. But when you really have that trust in the Lord, it makes it so much easier than just taking risks without knowing anything.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, when you've got that confirmation from God and he says go,
Yeah.
it doesn't really matter what it really looks like in the moment or really what anyone else really says too.
Mhm.
Yeah. Oh, I love that. Blake, are you like, that's my kid? He just
I
said
know.
that.
I'm impressed.
That's amazing. That's an amazing answer. I mean, goodness, what a wise perspective.
It
Holy
is.
moly.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I echo what Hayden said. It's really like Travis and I both say we have a high tolerance for risk. But then I second that with, I don't think that I would have a high tolerance if it wasn't that I heard from the Lord or
Mhm.
had peace about something. Like if I know that he's backing us up and he's like you get the green light from him, not that, you just feel good in your heart about something. That's just sort of how I've heard something. Like I get
Mhm.
confirmed with a word or feel good about it and peace about it. And it's just like, it's going to work out. And it's like, I don't know how, but yeah, just being a risk taker, but also hearing from the Lord are the two things that are a must.
Yeah, I love that.
I definitely think that the Lord is basically the only thing you need, because like without him, it won't be as good as it could have been, and it just like with him, it all like is better.
Yeah. Yeah. That's amazing. Y'all are an amazing family. I am so thankful to know you. Is there anything you would want to add to this topic? Anything you feel like, you've got just another perspective on just other families, other aspiring entrepreneurs, like anything that you feel like it would be helpful for them to know from y'all's perspective?
Do you have something
Uh,
you want to say? Was gonna say, starting business is usually something that you already like that's already in your hand. Just like with Moses, like he had his staff, and that was what was already in his hand and what God used to work through. I started with just my hobby, and my husband came alongside me, and he was just like more of the business guy. And so that was what was available to us, and how we, just got started with what we were, something we were currently doing. There might be a desire in your heart from an old hobby or something that you already know. But just getting started small and going from there. And then you just take those steps to grow and grow. And yeah.
Yeah. I love that. I would totally agree. And I honestly have friends often say, like, I love the idea of owning a business. I just don't know how to get started. And yes, there's like information and things like that you can learn, obviously hearing from the Lord and having a confirmation of what to move forward on. But oh man, how many times do we miss like, oh, it was here all along,
Yeah.
and just having that eyes to see and that, like you're saying, just using what's in your hands. That's amazing. Yeah, that's such an encouragement because I think there's so many of us that are waiting for something big or like
Right.
wow factor. And it's
Right.
like,
And it doesn't happen overnight. It's just something, yeah, just going ahead and getting started.
mm-hmm,
Even if you fail a couple of times, which we've definitely, there's things we've looked back on and we're like, oh, we should have done that differently. Or if we could go back, we would do this. But we're learning from them and
mm-hmm.
we're taking the next step and growing. And so that's just as important.
Yeah. Yeah. I love that. Is it a good question to ask, like, what's next? What's next for Rooted and Grounded, or what's next for the McDaniel family? Anything?
What's next for Rooted and Grounded is we have done the wooden wall art, which, used to be like the wood sign trend with the words and framed out on wood. And then we did the canvas tapestry. And then the next product to launch in the next few weeks is a framed canvas. So everybody wants the gold frame right now or an oak frame. So, and I'm loving the look. So just a framed canvas and offering gold, and I'm excited.
Yeah, I love that. I didn't know if there was an answer for that question. So that's exciting. It's like a little pre-launch. So
Yeah.
that's exciting. Well, we have absolutely loved having you guys on the Big Ideas podcast. I look forward to hopefully having you back on again. I feel like we could talk forever about so many great things. I know what you guys shared today was definitely encouraging to everybody listening. And I cannot wait to hear their feedback. And like I said, talk with y'all more. Y'all are a treasure to our family, and everything that y'all are doing and putting your hands to, I know is prospering, and you guys are always in our prayers and our thoughts. So Thank you so much for sharing your time with us today and all of your amazing insights. Y'all are literally amazing. I'm so encouraged from listening to it. I can't wait to make this episode live. So thank you so much for being here with us today.
Well, thanks, Ashley. We've enjoyed it. And likewise, we just love y'all's family. And we're excited for this podcast and
Thank you.
all the future episodes. So it's going to do so well.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much. That means so much. All right. Well, we will talk to you guys soon.
All right. Thanks.
Thanks again for listening, friend. We would love to hear what is really speaking to you in today's episode. It means so much to us, and we would love for you to take a screenshot of you listening to our podcast, share it on Instagram and Facebook. Definitely tag me in it so I can reshare it. Our kids especially really love hearing what you're getting out of our show, so it really means the world. Thanks again for joining us.